What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel, and today we have another Lightroom tutorial. This time it's going to be a full Lightroom edit on what I do in Lightroom. As you guys know from my last video, I did a 2-minute edit video in Lightroom, and this time it's going to be a full Lightroom edit of everything that I do in Lightroom, from different panels and all the different features that I use, not just all the basic ones, but all the more detailed ones that I use in Lightroom. Hopefully you guys can get some value out of it, and I'm excited to show what I have in store for this video, and hopefully you guys can learn something from this one. And if you guys are new to my channel, my name is Brian, aka bap.sd. I'm an automotive photographer from San Diego, California. You can go ahead and check me out on Instagram here, and also on my TikTok and my Facebook. I'll go ahead and link the links to my social media pages down in the description below. So like I said before, this tutorial is going to be a full Lightroom edit. No Photoshop involved, because normally I would take my photos into Photoshop and just clean them up a little bit more, whether it be reflections or whether it be like unwanted objects within the photo. But this time it's just going to be everything that I do in Lightroom, all the color enhancements, all the tone curve adjustments that I use, and all the basic edits that I use to make a photo just pop just a little bit more to my style. So with my style of editing photography, I edit in a very vibrant and a very colorful manner compared to other people that I've noticed. I've developed this style of editing just over time from when I started photography about 2.5 years ago. You know, a lot of people like it. There's some people that don't like it, believe it or not, and I have had people tell me that, you know, my style of editing isn't for them, which is okay, because that's something that I've developed over time, and you know, it's not for everybody. Everybody's different, everybody has different styles of editing, everybody has different styles of photography. This is what I've been developing over time from when I've been doing photography. So that being said, this video is no way, shape, or form the right way or the wrong way to edit. This is just how I edit my photos. I've had a lot of people on Instagram just over time just reach out to me and ask me, you know, how I edit photos and what I do in Lightroom and what I do in Photoshop. So I hope that this Lightroom tutorial, a full Lightroom tutorial, will give more insights of what I do in Lightroom and hopefully help you out a little bit if you're having some trouble editing your photos as well. So before we jump into my computer, I just want to give a big shout out to my homie Victor for letting me shoot his BMW M4 that I use for this tutorial in a beautiful San Marino blue. I've actually never seen this color of blue in person before until I saw his car. So shout out to you, Victor. Thanks for letting me shoot your car and let me use it for my tutorial here. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into my computer right over there and let's get to editing. Alright, now that we're here into my computer, into Lightroom, let's go ahead and start editing this photo of this beautiful BMW M4 in San Marino blue. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to lens corrections. I'm just going to add lens corrections. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't, but I like to add them just to, you know, make sure that everything's okay and everything's all good with the photo before I start. Alright, so let's increase the exposure here. Contrast, I'll go ahead and bring the contrast down a little bit. Highlights, I'm gonna bring all the way down to try to get some of the sky to come back, but then I'll eventually add a graduated filter to bring the sky back even more. So shadows, let's bring this up a lot, pretty much all the way. But right there, it's good. Sky's a little bright at this time, so I'm gonna bring the whites down just a little bit. I'll bring the blacks down as well. I'll go ahead and bring the texture. Let's bring some texture up to this photo, make it nice and sharp. Clarity, I'll go ahead and bring that to about right there, not too sharp. Dehaze, I'll bring this down a little bit to not too much. Go to there, plus 10 looks good. I mean, we're only in the basic panel right now, but this is like a world of a difference so far. And it's only gonna get better from here. Go ahead and bring the saturation up to, I'll do plus 10. Do plus 10 here as well. And let's go to the tone curve here. I'll bring the highlights down, just so that way the details can come back in the sky and even in the car as well. Let's see. I'll go ahead and bring the midpoint here, or the mid-tones down just a little bit. And blacks look good right about, actually I'll bring it up a little bit so that way we can see more of the car. So I'll bring the blacks up here just a little bit to about right there. Looking good so far. Let's mess with this white balance here. Cold, it's a little too cold for my liking. I think I'll bring it up. That looks good about right there. So sometimes with the white balance, it's kind of hard, at least for me, it's kind of tricky sometimes, especially like if it's in a sunset kind of setting like we're here right now. So sometimes I usually mess with it just on my own, but sometimes if I'm having trouble finding the white balance, I'll go ahead and put it into auto just to see what Lightroom is gonna do with it on its own. So as you can see here, Lightroom wants to make it more warm on this photo. So that looks good, but it's a little too warm for my liking, so I'm gonna bring it down just a little bit to make it a little bit colder. So I'll go to about right. I'll stop right there. And the same with the tint. Let's see here. It's a little too purple right there. It's a little too green. It's a little too purple again. So I'll leave it here at about where it was, so 5. And then let me see. I might bring the exposure down just a little bit. There we go. All right, that's looking really good. Let's just for yeah, just that before and after looks really good so far. Whoops. So let's go ahead and let's mess with the colors here just a little bit more. Go ahead and bring the reds up just a little bit. It's more of in the sky here, but you can't really tell that much. Orange. I'll bring orange up a little bit so that way we can get some of the sky, the sun to come back. Same with the yellow too. Let's bring that up here. Green, I'll go ahead and bring up. Aqua. So I can see it being affected in the sky, not so much in the car just yet. So I'm gonna bring that up to about 30 right there. I think that'll be good. Now blue is gonna be key here. Oh yeah, let's get that nice and deep blue right there for the car. That looks really good. And same with the purple. And magenta is not really gonna matter, so I'll just leave that the way it is. Reds, doesn't really matter there. As far as the luminance goes. Go ahead and bring the orange up here on the luminance to about right there. Same with the yellow too. Let's get that sky nice and bright. Greens I'll go ahead and bring up. You can see in the bushes, in the background. Aqua I'll go ahead and bring up a little bit there too. Yeah, let's go right there. And the blue. Ooh, that looks good. Or actually, that looks good right there. Nice and deep in blue right there. See if the purple will bring that down. It's looking really good. Okay. Now the hues here, red probably doesn't really matter, so I'm not gonna mess with that one. Orange. Orange I'll go ahead and bring down just to give it a little more of a warmer feel to it. I'll stop right there. Yellow. Yeah, see with the yellow to get that nice and warm. Greens. I like to bring my greens down pretty much all the way most of the time because I like this warm kind of feeling on the greens, just for my personal preference. I feel like it gives a photo, just any photo, just a nice like different kind of feel to it. Then instead of having it be just normally green like you normally see, just give it a little bit of a warmer tone. So I'll give it red about there. Aqua doesn't really matter. And I think I'll keep the blues the way it is because I don't want it to look like super like, it's almost like a turquoise color. And then if I bring it here, it's gonna look purple. So I'll go ahead and leave the blues the way it is. And same with the purple. Let's see here. Maybe I'll bring the purple down this way just a little bit because it looks kind of purple right there. So it makes the car look a little more blue if I bring it this way. So I'll bring it at -10. There we go, that looks nice and good. And I'm gonna fix something up here just a sec. I'll keep that the way it is. All right, let's go to split toning here. So usually at split toning, I usually start with these presets. Like this one makes it a little bit colder, and this one makes it a little bit warmer. So I'm gonna see how it looks like if I just mess with the making it warm here. Looks okay. Looks a little too warm for my liking. So as you can see, we already have this photo. It's pretty warm already. So I think I'm actually gonna go with making it just a little bit colder. So right about there, let's go. Right about there, I'll keep it at 5, and then same with the saturation, I'll probably make it colder as well. It's a little too cold for my liking right there, but Actually, I'm not. I'm gonna keep the saturation. I'm gonna keep it at 0 right now. This looks good right here. Just a little bit of, even so I brought it up to 5. Even just a little bit of split toning makes a big difference here in this photo, and just in any photo, like when I'm editing too. So I'll keep it at 5. All right, sharpness. I'll go ahead and bring this up to like 75. That looks good. And then noise reduction. So I'll zoom in a little bit here. You can see that once I brought the texture up and the exposure up, it got kind of noisy right here. And you can see kind of on the sides and even in the ground too. That's just because like the when I took the photo, it was kind of dark. So obviously you're gonna get noise once you bring any exposure, any shadows up. So I'm gonna bring this noise reduction up just to smoothen that out a little bit. That looks a lot better at 25. That looks a lot better. That looks a lot smoother right there. Wow. Made a big difference there. All right, so this is my basic edits here so far. It's looking really good. As you can see, it's like pretty much pitch black. And then a lot of the, whew, man, that is nice. That is beautiful. A lot of the colors, the details came back. But let's go ahead and add, I'm gonna add some more graduated filters here, or a couple of graduated filters here. So one from the top, just so I can bring the sky back. That looks really good. So I'll go ahead and bring the exposure down. I'll break it down a little bit more, it's about right there. And let's see, I might make it a little bit more warmer. There we go. Just give it a little more dramatic since this photo was taken at sunset. That way it looks good too, but I'm gonna go a little bit warmer for this one. It's a little too much. That looks good right there. Actually, you know what? It kind of looks good the way it is. Let's see, it might go a little bit colder. You know what? It looks good the way it is. I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. And I'll bring the highlights down just a little bit so that way we can get more of the clouds to come back. See, I might bump the clarity. No. How about dehaze? Ooh, that looks good. That looks good too. I'm gonna bring that dehaze down on this one just so that way it doesn't look too dark like up here in the clouds. I'm gonna bring it down just a little bit so it looks a little more evenly exposed. There we go. Perfect, I'm gonna leave it like that and I'll bring a graduated filter down from the ground so that way it's not too light and we can draw more attention here to the car. There we go, that looks really good. I'll go ahead and make this a lot darker. And I'll bring the blacks. There we go. That looks good right there. So should I change the color? No. No, I'll keep it the way it is. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with that. So usually when I'm done editing a photo and I get it to the way that I like it, which is pretty much how it is right now, I usually come back to the basic tab here and just mess with the exposure and just mess with the basic edits just to make sure that it's perfect the way I want to. So I'm gonna mess with the exposure here just a little bit to see if I want to bring it up a little bit or bring it down. No, I'm gonna bring it up just a little bit so that way we can get more of the car. And then I'm going to darken the graduated filters here. There we go. There we go. Because now more of the car is evenly exposed compared to how I had it. And that was just a minor adjustment there. See, contrast, I'll probably leave the contrast, I'll leave it down as like -14. Whites, yeah, I'll keep the whites down there. I'll keep the highlights down for sure, and then the shadows, bring it up more. You know, I'll bring the shadows up a little bit more, so I had it at like 65. Let's keep it at 70. And then as you can see, once I brought the shadows up, the exposure basically got exposed more because of that. So I'm gonna bring these graduated filters down just a little bit more. There we go. I'll bring that up. There we go. There we go, that looks a lot better. Okay, I think I'm pretty satisfied with this edit right here. Let's take a look at how it looks from before and then to the after. Wow, as you can see, I'm still getting used to these Sony RAW files, and just coming from my Canon, they were, sorry, let me take that back. So these Sony RAW files are just so freaking dark, and coming from my Canon, it's just unbelievable what these Sony cameras can do. Like you can see it's pretty much pitch black, and then putting the edit on it here is just a world of a difference. That's unbelievable to me. So here it is, the before, and here's the after. And yeah, I'm really happy with this. I'm really happy with this edit here. So before we finish this edit here, I just want to emphasize that this is a Lightroom edit. Normally I would take this photo to Photoshop and clean up. I'll probably clean up some of the reflections, like here on the headlight could probably be cleaned up a little bit more. I could probably clean up like these reflections here on the kind of on the front of the bumper here. And I'll probably clean up the reflection here on the side just a little bit more. And then just to enhance it a little bit more, I'd probably remove this water tower right here just to make it a little more clean. And then I'll probably keep the houses in here, but yeah, so normally I would bring these into Photoshop and just remove and fix other things that you can't normally do here in Lightroom. But just for the sake of this edit, you know, just a full Lightroom edit, this photo looks amazing so far. So there we have it. There is my full Lightroom tutorial, and I hope that you guys got some value out of it, and I hope you guys learned something out of it too. You know, seeing a little bit of insight on how I edit photos and how I edit in Lightroom and what tools I use and how I, you know, change colors, use a tone curve, use split toning, change my exposure, blacks, whites, highlights, shadows, all that good stuff. So if you guys have any other questions about editing in Lightroom, go ahead and leave me a comment down below, or go ahead and reach out to me on my Instagram and leave me a DM. I'd love to help you out in any way possible if you have any other questions or concerns about editing in Lightroom. So thanks again for tuning in. I hope that you learned something out of this video, and I hope that you got some value out of it too. Be on the lookout for some more tutorials that I'll be doing here soon, and hope to see you guys on the next one. Peace. Thank you.